Happy Thursday, everyone. I'm getting on live because I needed to go to God, honestly. I needed a come to Jesus moment. I needed a prophesying moment. I needed a moment where God could come in and overwhelm this atmosphere with love, peace, and happiness. And so I put on my wonderful Stitch hoodie, and that's uplifting my spirits. And honestly, reading this verse, when I started reading it, I just immediately knew I had to share it. So I got everything together so that I can share this message with you all. I tell you, when God speaks, I listen. I deeply want a relationship with Him. I've wanted to have a deep relationship with God for the past probably over 9, 10 years. For a while I was lost, very lost in a way that when I was in my darkest, all I seeked was worldly ways to feel better. And now I can say, I'm not gonna act like I'm a saint, but feel that God every day helps purify, sanctify, and rejuvenate my spirit, my love, and my happiness. That's what I run towards in my life. So I would like to share that with you all today. I wanted to start opening up today's message. We're reading from the YouVersion Bible in LT translation. I'm absolutely in love with this Bible app. I have devoted myself into completing a lot of plans, honestly. I've worked really hard to try to seek God's guidance, and honestly, everything is finally coming to a place where everything has to align. I've always felt like I wanted to share knowledge, share information, share the wealth that is love and that is knowledge. And if the littlest thing that I can do is provide a gateway, a bridge for you all to know that someone like me, if I look like you, can have a relationship with God. There's no range and spectrum of where God can reach you. I feel that God is everywhere, and it just takes us reaching out to Him to be able to notice that He's there. So today's first wonderful, and this comes from my Bible plan actually. It's a Bible plan that's about a year. Oh, I'm so sorry. I completely skipped the verse of the day. My bad. Back to the verse of the day. Today, God's message, the verse of the day: God blesses those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied. I felt like that was something I really needed to read and hear when I spoke it, because sometimes reading is not suffice. Being able to speak it and tell somebody else that, you get the opportunity to listen to yourself say it. And I feel that sometimes, like when we give advice to others, I feel like sometimes we're giving advice to ourselves. And I felt like in that moment when I read, God blesses those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied, I definitely resonated with that. And that is book Matthew chapter 5, verse 6. And what's funny is when I opened up the Bible, because I felt like I also wanted to share the verse of the day. Originally, I came here just to share the second Chronicles in John 13. But then when I seen how wonderful that verse of the day was and applicable that verse of the day was, I needed to make sure I shared that as well. Now, what I will say is I love that God gives us the opportunity to get confirmations, right? So like when you need that deep feeling inside of yourself to feel like, how do you know like God's there with you? How do you know God's in it with you, right? Well, when I opened this, I came to highlight verse 6 for you all, and verse 4 was highlighted for me. And it said, God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. And my voice breaks while I say all that because I'm going through a lot right now. And the one comfort that I have is one, first and foremost, is my partner of 10 years. I gotta tell you, I'm grateful to say that I have a relationship that has lasted this long through trials and tribulations. And it's based off of two people who just have a foundation of caring for each other, supporting each other, and seeing the best in each other and pushing each other towards God, because God is ultimately the one that saves us, not our love for each other. Well, honestly, if you read the Bible, our love for each other actually does save us. But that's a story for another time. But in general, like not our love for each other, meaning the love that you and I and us in the world carry for each other, each individual, whether mother, son, brother, stranger, aunt, cousin, the love that love conquers all, that's truly what saves. But book Matthew chapter 5, verse 4, God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. I definitely have been mourning today. A lot of crying, a lot of emotional turmoil. And I don't know about you all, but when I have an emotional outburst, or when I get to a point where I'm at my max, it takes me a lot because I don't know. For me, emotion is I like to hold on to good, happiness, peace. I like to carry the light. Those negative emotions, I know that they're there. I don't ignore them. I tangle with them every now and then, but the reason why I have my relationship with God is so that way I can stay away from them. And whenever I'm in a place, whether environmental, whether it's stress, whether internally, when I'm in a place that I'm not able to hold on to more light and I start feeling more dark, I find myself running to God. And I'm thankful for that. Very, very thankful for that. So I pray that that's what brought you here today. I pray that whatever you have going on in your life, similar or different to what I have going on in my life, I pray that you know that you have all the power, because ultimately power is a double-edged sword. As much good as there is in the world, there's a lot of bad. And power sometimes means you have to remind the bad, you have no power over me. And moments like that is when you find yourself running to the Bible, running to your gospel music. I have to say, I'm so thankful for the people that check up on me, like my sister-in-law, my brother. I'm so grateful for my cousin, Alexandra. Thank you. So grateful for so many people in my life, honestly, even people that I don't speak to, like Karina. I'm grateful for Jessica. We speak every now and then, but I'm grateful for Alexis, Rhonda. Eh, not Alexis and Rhonda is what I meant to say. Not Rhonda. That's funny. I imagined that being someone's name, so I had to clarify that. But I'm grateful for all the experiences in my life. I feel that when I operate out of gratitude, I'm able to be at my strongest. And so that's what I have to continue to lean on. We all make mistakes, we all tumble, we all fall. But I feel that, like God says, God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. You know? And sometimes we have to understand that it's okay for not everyone in your life to, not everyone that started in your life to finish in your life. It's okay for people not to necessarily have an opportunity to be in every season in your life. And it's not because you take it away, it's not because they took it away. I feel that God knows that it, like I know, if everything is written for our best, for our better good, for our ultimate greatest guidance, then I know that the bad that comes with the good and the good that comes with the bad and the yin and yang that exists in the world is to be grateful for, you know? I'm grateful to have the opportunity to say that I have a mom, I have a dad, partner, brothers, I have sisters, dog, fish, a career, diploma, I have a degree, I have a relationship with God, which honestly is, as you can see, I'm right here. So that's what matters to me the most, honestly, is being able to share that with you all. no matter how dark life can feel, no matter how hurt your hands may be from working hard, from carrying everybody's weight, from holding up foundations that you weren't meant to hold. God gave me the opportunity today to be comforted. So thank you all. So let's get on with today's plan. Back to me advertising this plan because I love the Bible, by the way. So they have, oh, I have to one day share this so that way I can share like my screen. But oh, I can share it right here. So plans, you can't really see too much of it, but if you click plans on your Bible app, you can find plans, but these are my plans. The current plan I'm doing is Old Testament and New Testament. And the reason why I'm doing this is because for me, I felt like I'm somebody who, for a while, I got tired of hearing one thing from one source and another thing from another source. I wanted to be able to read both sources and see how they correlate because I like to see myself like as a bridge. For some reason, my mind likes to connect the dots and things. I'm fascinated by that. And so I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity in this plan. It's a year plan at that. So like every day there's I plan like some verses to learn from and to grow with. And I'm a lot behind. Um, so nobody's perfect, right? But I love that when I do come back into the Bible, God always meets me where I'm at to prove my point, that confirmation I was telling you about. So back to the plan.
Please like, comment, and subscribe for part 2, diving into the plan.